connect the same table, then we call it as self-join. A single table you connect with itself, it's called a self-join. A self-join is a type of SQL join where a table is joined with itself. It is useful when the data in one row, maybe this row, is connected to another row of the table, any other row. Okay, we'll see some examples on this today. Let's say this table where I have a person details, like person ID is there, name is there, and when these people were asked, tell me your friends, they're given the friends ID. So looking at this only, I should be able to map and find out who are the friends of these people. So let's look at this. If I had to manually do it, I know Amit is related to 3, so I'll connect this Amit to third fellow, Rahul. 3 is connected to 5, so I'll go and connect it to Karan. Rahul is connected to Amit. So there is a relationship between each row with any other row in the same table. For example, Rohit is connected to 10, so 10 is Pooja. So like that, there could be relationships within the same table. In this table only, we had to connect it. So in such case, we use it. What are the benefits? Benefits, if you look at, we have related information stored in the same table. We don't want to unnecessarily create a separate table for that. And the data is available within the same table. For example, employee detail as well as manager detail in the same data. Customer data and the referrer data, friendship relationships, parent and child, mentor and student, supervisor and team manager. So instead of creating another table to join, we'll use the same table to get our answers. So we use self-join. So let me take the same example using workbench and show you how to do that. Let me take a situation. I have a database with one table called friends. Let me show how it looks like. Select all the columns from friends. I have to run this. So I can see these are the friends or the people in this table. So clearly I can make out Amit is friend of some ID 3. 3 means Rahul. So the same data is available in this table. So I'll have to create something when I want to fetch the answer like show me all the people plus their friends in another column. In such case, we use self-join. So whenever we say self-join, there is no specific word called self-join as a keyword in MySQL. Instead, we will use inner join mostly, and sometimes we can also use left join. So let me show you the inner join for this. So I'll select all the columns first from friends. I inner join. Although it is inner join the keyword I will use, the concept is self join because I'm going to use the same table again. Friends and friends. Same table I'm repeating in the joins. I have to tell what is the common column. Common column in this is you can observe that friend ID is nothing but person's ID only, right? So I can say friend ID should be connected to person ID. Simple as that, I'll complete. But there is a slight ambiguity. Since I'm imagining two tables, this friend ID comes from which table? Either the first table or the second table. So to avoid this confusion, we use alias. We'll create an alias name for the first occurrence of the table, and the next time I'll call it as B. Both the same table only, just that we are creating virtually two tables, friends and friends. We're giving names so that it's easy to refer. First time I'll say let the A dot friend ID. friend ID in the first table. So when I'm reading this data, when I see friend ID, that is first time I'm reading, so I'll call it as A dot first ID. There is the path. You're telling table A's friend ID should be same as table B's table B's person ID. So when it looks this as a second table, it will search for person ID 3 and tells Rahul is the friend of Amit. Let's run this. So you can see Amit as a friend called Rahul, Priya as a friend as Karan, because their IDs are matching like this. Friend ID equal to person ID. Okay, this is from A, this is from B. So now we have this all the columns. So if you don't want all, let's pick the relevant columns. I want the person name and the friend name. So I'll go and say show me first table's person name. Also I want second table's person name. When I run this, I get only two columns. But I know this second one is nothing but friend. So we'll give beautiful names as using alias. Let's say we'll call it as person, the first one, and the second one we'll call it as friend. So as I run that, you can see Amit, and Amit's friend is Rahul. Priya's friend is Karan, like that. So using the same table, we were able to connect different rows which are having same meaning, like who is friend of whom. Right? Okay, this is called as inner join. And in this case, even if I use left join, it would be the same because all are connected. In some cases, when you are looking at employee and manager, maybe the super boss will not have a manager for him. In such case, you will get null for that only manager. So maybe managers do not have a senior manager. In that case, you will get null. But for friend, everybody is related to each other, so I'm getting all connections. So this is our self join. If I had to do it manually, I had to sit and match for every row in another row. The benefits of self join, it retrieves data from the same table. You don't have to create duplicate tables. It makes hierarchical relationships within table easy to query, saves the database space, helps comparing rows. So with that, some common questions that you might encounter while dealing with self-join could be you would be given employee table where you have employee ID and manager ID also. You might have to use on clause on manager ID. You might have student and mentor with mentor ID, customer and referrer referred by person and friend ID. This is what we saw in our example. Product and parent product ID, like that family tree table where you have parent ID. So most commonly used interview questions are these. You can practice on this table. I'll leave this data, French data in our drive as well. Happy learning.